So Minimo Limited purchased an asset of $400,000 with an economic useful life of 10 years on 1st July 2016. Note that you must understand the years, the periods. It's very, very important. You don't just jump and start calculating depreciation. You must understand what is the year ended, how long has the asset been used, when is the revaluation being done, so you can accurately account for the transaction. So Minimo Limited purchased an asset for $100,000 with an economic useful life of 10 years on 1st July 2016. That is very, very important. On 31st October 2018, the entity revalued the assets to $96,000 and subsequent to that, revalued the assets on 1st April 2019 to how much? $56,000. So let's see what we do. Can I clean this place? Everybody done here? Okay, so finish and then we put it down. So let's look at this question carefully to make these principles come to bear. Because, like you mentioned, this one, yeah, what's it? But question it, I mean, how does it make sense? So let's see how it makes sense here. So Minimo Limited purchased an asset for $100,000. So I like to write out preambles. In the exam, you're not supposed to do that. You just underline them in your question. But I like to write out preambles. So Minimo Limited, we have the cost of the assets to be $100,000. Then it has an economic useful life of 10 years. It is very important for us to determine two things. Number one, the date of acquisition, and then two, the reporting date for the company. So date of acquisition or date of purchase, 1st July 2016. And the reporting year for this question is 31st October 2019. But we would just say the year ended of the company is 31st October. We'll come to the 2019 aspect of it. So let's look at what is happening here. In the first scenario, revaluation was done when?
31st October
2018. So what must we do? I'm going to break this up level by level and do. So number one, let's look at the first year ended. So for the year ended 31st 2016, how long have we used the assets? Follow me carefully. For the year ended 31st October 2016, how long have we used the assets?
4 months.
July, August, September, October.
Okay.
You got it? 4 months. What is because December shall So we've used the assets for 4 months. So it means we will calculate the depreciation based on 4 months. So let's go. Depreciation for that period is going to be the cost, $100,000 over the estimated useful life, 10 years, times 4 over 12. Make sense?
Yeah.
Can I have an answer?
Yes.
.33. Okay, so let's just leave it here like that. So, as at 31st October 2016, what is the carrying value of the assets? So carrying value as at 31st October 2016 is going to be equal to the $100,000, the cost, minus the depreciation of what? 3. What we got?
96,666.67.
So 97. Can we do that? 667.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the carrying value of the asset. Boom. Please look at how we are building it up. This is where you will struggle in the exam. And you always ask yourself, when did we buy the asset? What is the reporting year? And work piece by piece. Nemo, the main question is account for the transaction as at this date. Nemo, you can't get to that date without building up these pieces. So let's go. Then what happens? October 2018. When is 31st October 2018?
2 years.
2 years from where?
From
2 years after what? The 2016, isn't it? So I'm going to just jump 2017 and go to 2018. Does it make sense? Or I should do 2017? Okay, let's do it. Year ended 31st October 2017. That will be a full year. So since it's a full year, the depreciation is going to be what?
10,000.
Okay, so since you've done that, then let me go straight and calculate the carrying value. 100,000 minus 10,000 plus this one. So what we can do is that we can bring this and deduct the 10,000. Does it make sense?
Yes.
It's still the same idea. So the carrying value will be this 96,667 minus 10,000. And that gives us
86,667.
667. So as at 31st December 2017, this is the value. Now, for the year ended 31st October 2018, that is the end of the year where they did a revaluation. So look at what is going to happen here. So there, the carrying value will be equal to, still, since that is also a full year, right?
Yeah.
So minus 10,000. What do I have now? 76,667. This is the value of the asset at the end of the year. But at that date, they revalue the asset. The entity revalued the asset to Ebaze 96. And subsequent to that, we'll come here later on. So on that date, the fair value is 96,000. So what is happening here?
It has gone up.
It has gone up. So that leads us to what? A revaluation gain or revaluation surplus. And that's going to be 96,000 minus 76,667. What we got?
26,667.
26,667. Be very, 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 very careful here. Since the revaluation is done at the end of the year, for the year ended 31st October, did you charge the depreciation on this amount?
No.
So you transfer there for the 2018. Do you understand? Because the revaluation was done at the end of the year. Until annual transfer assembly, a better year in 2019.
Okay.
Are we following the picture? Because from 2019 now, we will calculate the depreciation on Ebaze, the revalued amount. But what do we do with this thing? That is where the double entry comes in. So we said we debit property, plant, and equipment 26,667, and then we'll credit revaluation surplus 20.
We got a 19,333.
19,333. One man is answer. Okay, let's go. You are getting 19. 333. Okay. Please confirm and let's see. Otherwise, it will affect our things.
Correct.
19. Okay. So 19,333. But remember, this same amount will go where? OCI, other comprehensive income. This is what we've built so far. Indeed, I didn't examine a Bema or life ISA. Because of person who say, what's the accounts and I say, Tino Bema or life ISA. Indeed, now let's come to the latter part of the question. Where the examiner says, and subsequent to that, revalue the asset on Ebaze.
2019.
Good. So let's look at 1st April 2019. So as of 1st April 2019, how many months have we been using the asset so far before that date?
5.
So November, December, January, February, March. It is 1st April. So what should I want 5 April now count? So that is how many months? 5. So if 5 months, again, what is now the remaining useful life of the assets? Yeah, 4 12 16. And 12 you've got to work. You've got to now decide to work in months. Okay, you have to change from the years to work in months to make it easy on yourself. So I have 4 10 12 16. 16 plus 12. 28. So far we've used it for 28 months. Let me mark up that above here. 28 months. 10 years into months, how many months will it be? 12 times 10. 120. So total month is what? 120. It is I use 28, I reckon.
92.
92. Please, are you following the concept? So when you get to this point, because of the way the month is so, you must decide to move from the year basis towards the monthly basis to be able to do your computation. So if we are now left with 92 months, it means this 96,000 will be mapped over what? The 92 months. So depreciation for the 5 months will be equal to 96,000 divided by 92 months. Must say how many months? Times 5 months. Make sense? Now, so give me an answer.
So why not 96 times 5 over 92?
What is the 96?
The 96,000
times 5
over 92.
It will be the same idea. It's the same thing. 96 times 5 over 92. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Can I have an answer? 4,000. Confirm?
5217.39.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
5.
217.39.
Can we do to the nearest thousand? So let's just do 5217. So that is the depreciation for the 5 months. Now, like this question is, it is silent. Nothing is said about the company not doing revaluation. So let's see what is happening there. Okay, so this is the depreciation. So what is the carrying value as at that date? It's going to be 96,000 minus what? 5217. What do I have?
9782.
9782.
0.6.
So 9783. Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay. Can I clean the question? So be actual. And I'm going to draw it.
Of course.
Okay, so then write and let's continue. So now we have the carrying value as at 1st April. But because the depreciation was calculated on the revalued amount, and the question didn't forbid us from doing annual transfer, we need to deal with what? Annual transfer. So now this time, even though we are using the word annual, you know it's not going to be annual, but it's just going to be how many months?
5 months.
Just 5 months. So annual transfer will be, what was our surplus? Revaluation surplus.
19,333.
How many months were we having? 92 months remaining, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Times 5. So can I have an answer? To the nearest thousand, okay? So 1050. So this 1050, as at 1st April 2018, 2019, we're just going to be debiting the revaluation surplus 1050 and credit what? The retained earnings 1050. That's the annual transfer. But we are not much excited in that as well because we need to look at the fair value now. So as at 1st April 2019, we get our carrying value to be how much? What's the figure there? 9783. But the fair value is 56,000.
96,000.
Isn't it 96 rather? In the question, no. In the question, the fair value for 1st April, check 56,000. Okay, so now let's take it out. What do we have? That's revaluation loss. So take it out. $34,783. This is where I want you to be careful. You could see that this loss is as a result of previously revalued upward assets. True or false?
True.
So how do you deal with this 34,000? Assuming this was just a first time revaluation, the 34,783 would have simply debited our income statement and credit what? Property, plant, and equipment. Simple. Nemo, yes, sir. The first question you need to ask yourself is, how much is left in your revaluation surplus? You credited it with 19,333, and you debited with how much? 1050. T-free manager Rebecca. So this is where the T accounts people, their things will come in.
18283.
18283. Is it bigger than this or less than this?
Less than this.
Less. So double entry is you're going to be debiting the revaluation surplus with 18. What's the name? 283. Still, you credit your PPE with the entire amount of what? 34,783. Then the balancing figure will now be debited in the income statement. How much?
16,500.
This is what I was talking about. Okay. An appetite. Is it?
The last one.
Yeah, don't claim this one.
Okay, but I can claim here.
Yes.
Okay. So let me do T account for her. Okay, not for her alone, but some people also like the T account. Personally, I prefer the T account to this English thing. T, what's it? Then T account, no. Hey, and no more. So I don't put head there. Okay, so the first thing we did is to what? Credit it with this one. So property, plant, and equipment. 19,333. Then we did the annual transfer. So maybe let me just do this. Retained earnings. So we do the annual transfer by debiting it with retained earnings. How much? 1050. And then we'll credit the retained earnings with the revaluation reserves 1050. But like I said, you may not be doing this in the exam or rather the statement of changes in equity. But you need to understand this to get a treatment well if it is a standard question you are what? Solving. So now when we balance this account, what do we have? 19,333. 19,333. And then what happened?
Yes.
Which was how much?
18,283.
18,283. Now, you don't do balance carry down, balance brought down here because now it's a loss. So you're going to be debiting it with what? The income statement. So this balancing figure is going to the income statement. So that is the idea. So when I say, how do we call it? No, not to the income statement, sorry. This one should go to the whole revaluation loss. I'm coming, let me do this treatment well. So we debit this with the loss and then credit. So we debit this in the name of PPE for the 18 watts. 283. But the whole loss that we had was how much? 34,783. And the second penny, the other kind of the balancing figure is the what? And that will have to go to the income statement. So the loss that we are having could have been put here. So the entire loss in the name of property, plant, and equipment could have been put here. How much? 34,783. Then we will rebalance this account. So when we rebalance this account, so maybe let me do the brought down, carry down thing here. So balance, carry down. What should carry here, right?
Yes.
18,
283.
So balance brought down 18283. Then this revaluation loss of the total 34,783 will be brought here. Then we balance this account. 783, 34,783. The balancing figure is here. That will go to where?
16,500.
Do you get it? So this balancing figure is on the credit side. It will go to the debit side of what? The income statement. So that's the idea. That would be the idea about that. That would be the idea about that. So the same thing is what has been what represented here. So the treatment is that asset has some gain. You solve the gain in the income statement, like I illustrated here. You must write it off with the revaluation surplus. Now the event will go into the income statement. Is it cheap? Yes, it is, right? Are we done? What was the question? What was the requirement of the question?
Determine the value of the assets at the end of the 31st October.
In 6 years, you pay 31st October. So let me finish here. I can clean this one as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So, as at 31st of 2019, how many months from 1st April to 31st October has this asset been used now? Hi there. So, welcome to broadcast for the preparation for the ICA May 2020 examination. This time around, we will be doing a lot of things, creating a lot of content, and I'll be doing a lot of live broadcasts like this to assist you to be able to prepare well for the examination. So if there are any questions that you want me to answer, any questions that is on your mind that you want me to look at, you can put it in the comments box. I'm going to be answering all your questions for you. We want to know the topics you want us to deal with, the subject you want us to cover, the subtopics you want us to cover. For financial reporting and corporate reporting students, we want to know the standards that you want to see questions on for the ICA May 2020 examination. That we want to also consider the issues in relation to the various things in public sector, in management accounting, in financial management, audit and assurance, or any other thing that you want us to cover on the channel. Just put it in the comments box and we're going to be answering all of that for you. Now, one thing you must understand is this, that going into 2020 and then the May 2020 examination, you've got to understand that you must position yourself strategically, work on yourself on key issues and key concepts in order to be in that position so that you can pass the examination. Like I always say, don't wait for 2 weeks to the exams and start being serious. Even if you wrote the exams last semester and some way somehow you could not go through, Don't wait and say, oh, I'm going to do a revision 2 weeks to the exams or 1 week to the exams. I'll go and write the paper. When you do that, you are putting upon yourself some unnecessary pressures that will really affect you emotionally, psychologically, and mentally, so that which will really not be a good feeling at all. So what I want you to understand is this, that if we are going to go into the May 2020, what you must know is that you need to position yourself strategically. You need to have your own timetable so that you can understand and know how to study. If you can commit at least 2 hours 2 times a week to the subject that you are writing. It means if you are writing 1 paper, that's what you're going to do. If you are writing 2 papers, you must allocate more time to it. This is how you're going to be doing. This is how you're going to be raising the bar for yourself. This is how you're going to make sure that you do the best for yourself and become the best version for yourself. So there are 2 things I want to share with you quickly, and in this broadcast. If 2020 is going to be the year that you're going to be achieving your goals, achieving your objectives, there are 2 things I want to share with you briefly that will assist you to be able to achieve your goals, achieve your objective this year. Now, what are these 2 things that I want to share with you? Number 1 is strategy. So what strategy are you going to be adopting? What strategy are you going to be using to prepare for these exams? What strategy are you going to be adopting? If last semester it did not go well, then know that the strategy you adopted to study did not work for you. So it means that this time around you've got to change your strategy, you've got to do things differently, you've got to study differently, you've got to associate yourself with different people, you've got to think differently, because all of these things boils down or goes into being able to assist you or being able to ultimately pass the examination. So this is very important, this is very critical, because without that it means that you are not going to achieve your goals. So if 2020 is going to be a great year, 2020 is going to be the year that you are going to become successful and be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, then ultimately it means that you need to look at your strategy. So what strategy are you going to adopt? You've got to work on that. Then the second thing that is also critical that you must be able to work on is the issue in relation to your finances, money. Because where you are and where you were going, in between that is these 2 things, strategy and money. So what do I mean by that? Do not pay for the examination without paying and attending any lectures. That is just not good. You've got to attend lectures. You've got to spend some money to attend lectures. So it doesn't matter whether you've studied the paper for 4 years, you've studied the paper for 5 years, you've studied the paper for 6 months, for 4 months, whatever it is, whether you've written before, you've not written before, you must still attend lectures. Why is that important? Because when you attend lectures, you spend some money to attend lectures, certainly you will be able to understand things better. Because you see, sometimes it is not about, yeah, I've studied it before, Darby. If you studied and you failed the exams, it means something didn't go well. And sometimes you will lie to yourself, oh, I can do some revisions, then I'll be able to go through, Darby. That is also not good, because if we put 10 people, like I always illustrate, if you put 10 people in a room that they should study on their own and prepare for the ICAG examination, chances are only 1 out of the 10 will pass. That is chances, because it is not everybody that is created, everybody that is carved, everybody that has the nerve to be able to sit down and be self-taught and self-guided to be able to prepare for the examination. So if we are going to write the ICA May 2020 examination, what I recommend highly for you to do is your strategy. Work on your strategy of studying and be ready to spend some money. Okay, spend some money, find out, attend lectures, buy books. Okay, I always tell students, don't just look at the ICA past question. That is not what is going to help you. Look at questions outside the ICA past question. Look at the ICA question kits book. Buy those books. Find out questions and solve them. Go to ACCA, get some questions from the ACCA revision kits, solve them. Go to the universities, those who are doing their MBAs, their MScs, accounting and finance, look for their questions, solve them. That is how you'll be able to open yourself up to a lot of things. But many people do not put in the work, because if you are going to become successful, it requires a lot of work, it requires a lot of sacrifice, it requires a lot of effort. That is how you become successful. So if you are going to pass your exams and be in the position where 2020 will be your year, 2020 starting a new decade, it means new life. It means new life, it means new goals, it means new aspiration, it means new objective. That's very critical. So 2 things I want to leave with you this afternoon as we man up and prepare ourselves for the May 2020 examination and the various contents that we'll be releasing on this channel. I'm very much excited about the contents that we are working on here and what we'll be making available on this channel in the next 4 months for the May 2020 examination, and by extension beyond, because this channel has come to stay. This channel, it's going to be here. It's going to be here to assist a lot of students. So these are the 2 things I want you to look out for: your strategy and then your finance. If you can work on these 2 things, I can guarantee you that you can become successful. You can achieve your goals. So ask yourself, what strategy am I going to use, or what strategy am I going to adopt in order to write this examination and pass the examination? Then the second thing you need to ask yourself also is, how much money am I willing to spend to be able to achieve the goals that I want to achieve? That is simple. So if you can look at your life from these 2 scenarios, you can look at your life from these 2 extremes, the strategies you are adopting, and then how much money you're going to be spending. That is what will put you in that position so you can pass your ICA May 2020 examination. So remember, put in the comment box any thing that you want us to share more on, anything that you want us to discuss more. We want to look at various topics that you want to be interested in more. We have a lot of content available, a lot of videos available, just about a lot of content available on various topics, on various subjects. So all we want to know is what kind of content you want to see more on this channel, what kind of subjects you want to look at more on this channel. If you are writing principles of taxation, what things in principle of taxation you want to see more on this channel. If you're writing financial management, what topics in financial management you want to see more, and then any other thing that you want us to discuss more on this channel, so that your May 2020 will be a successful preparation. By extension, will be able to prepare well also for the examination. So that is what you have to understand in relation to that. So comment below, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you will be the first person to be notified anytime I'm going live to lecture, or anytime we upload new lecture videos every single day, because we plan to release lecture videos every single day on various subjects, on various topics. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure that you comment below, make sure that you share the channel with your colleagues, so that there are a lot of people across who need these things, who need these assistance, so that they can prepare well for the examination. So comment below with any questions that you are having, and then let me answer all of those questions for you.